We've all got demons, but I got a feeling yours and mine might get along. Oh, cause here in the darkness, I can see where your heart is, cause your love left the light on. If we put together all our broken pieces, make them fit until all that we see is what we are, because all that I need is you. Yeah, you. You're the miracle I've been wishing I would collide into. Hope for all of my life, been saving all of my time for you. So you got time for me too. 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 Closing the curtains, so tell me you're certain this is what you're looking for. You got your hands on my body, and there might not be anything I'm wanting more. Oh, we can put together all our broken pieces, make them fit until all that we see is what we are, because all that I need is you. Yeah, you. You're the miracle I've been wishing I would collide into. Hope for all of my life, been saving all of my time for you. So you got time for me too. 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 If we put together all our broken pieces, make them fit until all that we see is what we are, because all that I need is you. Yeah, you. You're the miracle I've been wishing I would collide into. Oh, for all of my life, been saving all of my time for you. So you got time for me too. 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 Yeah. So you got time for me too.
You think I'm an angel, honey, but I ain't that innocent. But I ain't that innocent.
And hello, Mr. Roach.
Good evening, Mr. Kinsman, and how are you?
I'm fabulous. Good evening to you. I didn't scare you off back on Tuesday. It's another show night. You've been rehired to come back.
Very excited. Very excited. I didn't scare you off either, so good thing both ways.
It's a good mutual connection. But for those who are wondering, following our Facebook page, KINZ and KLOMP Live. Of course, KLOMP was down with his other half, his fiance Terry. They took a bit of a vacay to watch the Motley Crue concert in Buffalo. They're making their way back, so he should be back. You'll see KLOMP again when we're doing the farmers market on Saturday morning.
Some great shots from Jamie from the show. Caught quite a few of the big acts.
Lot of big acts, and he had the video there of Def Leppard. It takes you back. I don't think there was probably one bad track in that entire set list. Poison was in there. What, Joan Jett, the Black Cards? Who else was down there?
They could have called it the Gen X Festival.
But lots of fun.
Yeah, Poison, Motley Crue, Def Leppard. Yeah, a who's who of who used to be.
And the stadium too are talking to him. You see it at it was in Toronto the night previous to the Buffalo. nothing beats the outdoor stadium setting.
No, beautiful venue.
Just seeing the atmosphere where KLOMP was, it was phenomenal. But he did message they're going to African Lion Safari on the way back tomorrow, and then making the trip back here Friday night. So watch our Facebook page tomorrow morning. Apparently, they're going to go there. Have you ever been there before?
I have not been to African Lion Safari. Nope. Maybe I'll put it on. I'll see how KLOMP does, and then I'll decide if I put it on my bucket list or not.
It's like going through a car wash. It says, okay, make sure your wipers and everything that's on your car that could be grabbed or ripped off is you probably have to sign a waiver down there. You see videos, people having fun, giraffes sticking their heads through, the car windows, licking people's faces, monkeys ripping the wipers off the car. I'm pretty sure you have to sign something going through that track.
Been to the Toronto Zoo, and that's my preference, where there's a barrier between us. That's my preference.
Awesome, buddy. Well, before we get into our big guest, the Northern Ontario Book Fair is coming up. We're going to chat with local author and entrepreneur Jessica Trudel is waiting in the wings. We've got some winning tonight. We've got two things to give away. The first one, #Cinema6, will get you 2 tickets to Imagine Cinemas, where we give away some tickets back on Tuesday. So if you didn't win them on Tuesday, that hashtag, it's got to be exact, Cinema6, you'll have a chance to win that from our friends Colin and crew at Imagine Cinemas. And we're also giving a shout out to Hillbilly Customs. They are going to give away tonight. Are you ready for this? Fresh farm eggs, farm fresh eggs. So that one's a bit tougher. And again, it's got to match exactly that hashtag farm fresh eggs with the capital F, and the E. And you'll have a chance to add those into the comments. And Jamie, you and I will award the winners on tonight's show at the end of the show tonight.
Look, speaking of Gen X, you can go to the movie theater and see Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt. Same time.
And speaking of Tom Cruise, did you hear this? Top Gun has just surpassed the all-time money made in a box office. They just beat the Titanic. That's how big Tom Cruise is.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
But are you waiting to chat with Jessica? I know you and Jessica have a bit of a history.
Yep.
Right. Longtime friends in this city. And of course, you might know her from Forte Automotive. But yes, on her spare time, her hobbies is, being an author and a local entrepreneur. So we're going to chat with good old Jessica. You ready to go?
Ready to go.
Let's bring Jessica in. And there she is. Hi, Jess.
Hello.
How are you? Good to have you on KINZ and KLOMP Live tonight.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me. Hi, Jamie.
How are you, Jess? I haven't seen anybody in a while, right?
I was going to say, no, we haven't seen anyone in 3 years. No. It's fine.
Now, you guys go back. Did you guys go to school together? Or just knowing each other in the city?
Jamie was my boss. The first time we met, I worked for him. Yeah,
oh, wow.
Western Inventory.
So any dirt to spill on boss Jamie Roach before we get into the fun stuff of why you're actually here on the show tonight?
Well, actually back then, because he was my boss, we didn't really get to know each other that well. But because we ran in similar business circles over the years, we just keep running into each other. And yeah.
And here he is going to be able to interview you because we're here to chat about the Northern Ontario Book Fair, which is, coming up very soon here, August the 24th.
August the 20th.
August 20th in downtown Timmins. It's going to be outside, and again, rain or shine. If it's sunny along 3rd Avenue, and if it rains, it's going to be in the old Tweed and Hickory building. So, tell us a bit about this book fair. What's happening on the 20th?
Well, the Northern Ontario Book Fair is our 4th time doing it. It's a 4th annual event, although we obviously took a couple of years off for hiatus for obvious reasons. But the Northern Ontario Book Fair is a gathering, basically a trade show where all the authors from all over Northern Ontario come together. They all have a booth and they can sell their books and talk about the origin of the story and sign them. And there's going to be a mic there, so that there's going to be literary readings throughout the day. Many of the authors have signed up for literary reading spots, but there's also going to be spots open for the members of the general public. So, if there's any poets out there or short story writers, people who don't have books published, but do have things they've written that they want to share, they can sign up for a spot.
And did you have to be a good poet, or can you attempt to be a poet? And
There's
as they
no
say,
skill requirement.
you're a poet and don't know it, right? So
Yeah,
maybe someone's sitting there with a gem, or maybe a silly idea that they think is silly, but really it's not.
that's actually
should you encourage everybody?
Some of the best literature is the experimental literature. The things that people thought, oh, I can never get this published because it's just so out there, and then it ends up being a hit because it's different and new and fresh.
I'll fall off my chair if KLOMP doesn't take to the mic with some.
Is he gonna rap? He's gonna rap.
Of poetry. I will let you decide what to call it, Jess. I'll let you decide what to call it on the day. I'm not gonna. I don't want to get too far ahead.
I just realized that you picked the co-host that most looks like Jamie KLOMP.
Is that not wild? Even as the same
name,
right?
Same general look,
same glasses. They've got the same barber, and he's sitting in the same office.
Jamie and other Jamie, also go way back and have run in the same business circles too. So it's that you're just
6 degrees of separation, right?
6 degrees. I think it's even. I think it's like 2 or 3 degrees of separation now with good old Facebook and social media. But subscribing, Jess, if someone wants to be a part of the fair, and they want you to they want you to look at some of their literature, can they do that between now and the book fair, or do they just come down and bring it to you down there?
Registration has closed for the book fair, so the authors.
Oh, it is. So you can't even sign up anymore.
No, you can't sign up as an author anymore. There was a last minute dropout. So if there's an author out there who's like, oh, I missed the deadline, we did have a dropout, so you could maybe sneak in there. But yeah, just the general public that has something that they want to read for a literary reading, the link to sign up through Calendly is on the event page. So you can go and sign up for a literary reading space. Okay. You don't have to be a published author to do that. So.
And is this all local or the region? Is it local, or the people from around the region?
Northern Ontario. So we have people from Sudbury, North Bay, Richards Landing, who am I forgetting here? Timiskaming Shores, several from Timmins, of course. Mm-hmm.
And what was the genesis? What was the genesis of this? When you started more than 4 years ago, obviously.
The first event was in 2017. And basically I meet with a group of local writers. And at the time we were just let's do some sort of event or some fun thing for authors. So when it first started, it was the year of Stars and Thunder. And we were like, okay, Stars and Thunder, there's going to be a ton of people in town. Let's, set up a booth and sell some books. So at the time, it wasn't authors traveling from all over Northern Ontario to come and do a trade show. It was just 2 little tables. And we just had people send us their books. And then we as volunteers, sold the books for them and then sent them their money. So it was just 2 little tables at that time. And it went really well. Yeah, it went really well. And then we were like, how do we make this more accessible for more writers? So then we actually took it to a different city. We went to Sault Ste. Marie the following year, and we did the event there so that more people could do it. So we had tons of obviously Sioux authors there, and even some from Thunder Bay were able to make it down. And we did it in Sault Ste. Marie then. And then the year after, we decided to mix it up again, and we went to a small town. So we went to Cobalt and did the fair there. Okay. Every year it's grown a little bit more. In Cobalt, we added workshops. So we had workshop presenters. I taught one workshop. There was one of the poet laureates in the Timiskaming Shores area did a workshop. And we added the literary readings as well in Cobalt. But then, of course, we had to take a couple of years off. And so now we're rebooting it here in Timmins. And we're not sure if we're going to stay in Timmins or try to travel again. It's a lot easier for me as the organizer to do it where I live.
Do it in your hometown, but it's also exciting to maybe take it on the road and, inspire, some other authors that could be just hiding in the wings or not knowing their potential until they see that there's other creative minds in one place,
Exactly.
such as,
we've looked into doing it further north. because we've already had 3 in kind of like the southern part of Northern Ontario. We thought, okay, like maybe we need to go up, between Thunder Bay and Red Lake, or, that area, to bring it to them. But then COVID hit, we didn't get a chance to explore that option. So we're still debating if we're going to try and like grow it, make it big in one place, like in Timmins. And then just as time goes on, people will be prepared for the travel and they'll know I've got to go to Timmins once this year for the Northern Ontario Book Fair.
Well, that's it. If you keep it in the one spot, then, people put Timmins on the map as obviously a tourist destination, but they say, you know what, hey, the Northern Ontario Book Fair is coming up again. It becomes an annual thing, almost like the Timmins mini cons with the Northern Ontario Expo. Everybody comes far to visit, so maybe you don't have to travel. Maybe you can just attract more people with the presence of what you're doing right now.
Yeah, that's the debate right now, because if I'm doing it locally, I can make it a lot bigger because I can coordinate everything. But if I'm traveling around, I have to kind of keep it small because there's only so much I can do at a distance, right? So it's debating whether or not I want this to be like become a big like festival.
Well, of course you do. Everybody does, but I'm going to say is there a cost? Like obviously, nothing's free. You need to find spaces. What is it for the finances side of things? The
authors pay $50 for their booth.
Okay.
So like it's not a huge money making scheme or anything by any means, but and that's the thing too, is traveling makes it more expensive and makes it harder for me. I don't get paid to do any of this, so it makes it harder for me to do it, right? But I don't know. Still up in the air. We'll figure out where we're going to do it next year. But right now it's in Timmins.
August 20th. So yeah, coming. It's very, very close to this year's, and if anybody out there wants to, check out what other people are, writing and creating it. This is definitely the workshop and fair to go to.
Yeah, and there's a really good mix of genres too. There's like authors for children there. There's going to be memoirs. There's going to be YA fiction, like lots of different types of books for different people, or poetry, all kinds of things. So it's really exciting. There's some authors that are coming that I've never met, never even heard of before this. So I'm going to be really excited to meet those people. And then there's some that, and there's some that I've met before that have been at other fairs, or that I've run in the same circles as. So it's really a fun time. Meet new people, but also some familiar faces that we haven't seen in a very long time. So I'm excited.
So you always have a lot on your plate the entire time I've known you. When did you start writing? And I guess, did you have a passion immediately, or did you develop a passion as you wrote?
I've been writing for as long as I've been able to write. I was writing like short stories as like a little kid, and I was the kid that like loved essays in class. I remember one time I used to go, I don't know if you guys remember this. I used to go to Timmins Trinity Christian School when it was open in Timmins. It was on the highway in South Carolina. Yeah. So anyway, I went to Timmins Trinity Christian School, and I think I was grade 5 or something. Yeah. And the teacher assigned like 4 essays, and it was like for science. So it was like 4 essays on 4 different like insects. So I chose my insects. I was like a bee and an ant and a couple other ones. And I wrote the essays, and then I brought it to my teacher. I was like, here's my essays. And she was like, this was your work for the week. And I was like, oh, I thought this was today's assignment. So yeah,
everybody's all grumbling. You're the one excited, saying, "Here, I'll do your essays." Or you're probably the one that everybody went to and said, "Hey, Jess, I'm going to slip you, my crackers from my lunch bag. Can you help me? Can you make this actually, turn into a piece that people can actually read and understand?" Right? I'm sure you get that a lot, even today. I know a lot of people know you through Forte Automotive. Do people bring their essays in while they're getting an oil change and ask you to revise?
Surprisingly, very few people realize those two sides of me. I keep them pretty separate. Like I don't really cross advertise, right? So most people don't realize it. Most people, when they come into Forte Automotive, don't even know I own it. They think I'm the secretary, and they're always trying to bypass me. And I'm just like, no, I'm the person that you need to talk to.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? If you're driving to the Tim Hortons there at, by Timmins Furniture, you're now on the billboard. So now people will say that's the Jess. right,
Yeah.
right there, right?
Yeah, actually, I had a
Not just
friend
need
text
men.
me. I had a friend text me and go, "Where are your glasses?" Because I wasn't wearing my glasses in that picture. Because there's always glare. I'm pretty sure I probably took them off just for the
Small
glare.
towns, everybody knows everything, right?
They're like, "Where are your glasses? You don't look right."
So if somebody wants to get published, what are some of the barriers? And again, we live in the North. Are there specific or particular barriers that we have in the North, that we experience in the North?
Now I would say not so
No.
much. There once upon a time it was more difficult because you're mailing in submissions or whatnot. But I mean, with the advent of the internet, most agents, most publishers accept submissions via email now, or via like Submittable or a query manager. So it's a lot easier to get your work out there. But because it's so much easier to get your work out there, more people are like bombarding agents and publishers with submissions. Like I follow a ton of like publishers and agents and stuff on Twitter, and there was one that was like, I opened to queries yesterday, I have 250 this morning. Like, I don't like,
Unreal.
guys. So yeah, it's a two-edged sword, right? But if somebody wants to get published, they need to decide if they want to be traditionally published or if they want to self-publish. Very different paths. You can try to get traditionally published first and then decide to go self-publishing, or you can self-publish something and then try to get something else traditionally published. The mistake a lot of people make is that they'll self-publish a book. It doesn't sell well because usually your first book doesn't. And then they try to get that book published by a traditional publisher, but it's too late. You've already self-published it. You need to.
So if you self-publish it, you're kind of tarnishing the.
Yeah,
I guess
it's
the
published.
fork in the road. You've gone the wrong fork.
Yes, very rarely. Like every once in a while, there'll be a book that somebody self-published that gets like recognition and like sells big time, and then it gets the attention of publishers. But that's like the 1 in a million shot. So yeah, if you want to self-publish, self-publish. If you want to traditionally publish. Do not try to get a self-published book published traditionally. You're just going to be like beating your head against a wall. So
who does Jess read when she's not writing?
Oh man, I read a lot. I actually just read Gail Anderson Dargat's new book. She lived in Manitoulin and ran like a writer's workshop in Manitoulin for many, many years. She moved back to BC a couple years ago, I believe. But anyway, I just read her new book, The Almost Wife. It's actually really good, very page turning. It only took me a couple days. I am a very slow reader. Very slow reader. I'm ADHD, so I read and then I get distracted, but my eyes keep going over the words and I keep flipping the pages, but I'm not actually paying attention. And then I'm like 10 pages later, I'm like, what do I remember? Where was I?
You got to go back and reread it all again.
Yes. So if I'm able to read something in a couple of days, it's because it
was good.
It's focused. It like keeps my attention. So that's a good thing. So yeah, I just read that. I read a lot of Emma L.R. Hogg. She's a Sault Ste. Marie author. I read pretty much all of her books. She's very, very good. And I read a lot of kidlit, not just because I have kids. It's a really good excuse to read it because I have 4 kids, but I really read it for myself. I buy my kids like books for Christmas, and then I'm like, oh, you're not going to read that? Oh, okay. I'll just take that.
Doesn't make you a bad person.
Yeah. I bought Louiselle Sanbury. She's a Timmins author. I bought her first book for my daughter. I honestly thought my daughter was going to like this book, but she never picked it up. I think she just wasn't interested in reading in general at the time. So I was just like, okay, I'll read it. So now I'm looking forward to reading the second one.
Now, what are you in the midst of writing right now? Do you have plans on publishing something in the future? Currently in the midst of publishing?
Yes, actually, the Timmins Writers Group that I'm part of, we meet once a week. And at that meeting, we have a good mix of like traditionally published or seeking traditional published writers, and then like self-publishing writers that like are not interested in traditional publishing at all. And we were having a conversation just like a couple of weeks ago. I said, like, if I had like a bunch of like finished manuscripts, because one of our writers is like very prolific. He like finishes multiple manuscripts like a year, it seems. And I'm like, if I had like multiple books already written, I would like take a chance and like publish one and just write that one off. If it fails, it fails, but at least I've published it, self-published it,
Yeah.
and just see what happens, right? To try my hand at it. But I don't have that. And then I went home that night and I was just like, well, hold on a second. Because I have like hundreds of poems I've written over the year just sitting on my computer. I don't try to get them published. They're just sitting there. And I was like, technically, I could do a collection of poetry, put it out there and just see what happens. So over the last 2 weeks, I've been working at that. I've already collected 70-ish poems, or was it 80, something like that?
70, wow.
Yeah, they still need to be edited. Like the book still needs to be created. Like there's still a lot of steps to go. But yeah, just in the last couple of weeks, I started working on that.
Wow.
So.
Seems like such a process. It makes you greater appreciation for when you do pick up a book. People say, "Oh, geez, I can pick up a book." They read Dr. Seuss, right, and say, if he's, they think of those books as easy, but those aren't easy to, just sit, pick up the pen and paper and create what Dr. Seuss or the minds of a Dr. Seuss have created.
Yeah. And now that like television, like streaming is so ubiquitous, there's like a surprising number of people that don't read at all anymore because they don't have to. There's plenty of entertainment options, and
the movie's
reading
coming.
is work, right? So there's a surprising number of people that just don't read at all. And it's really funny because as a writer, if you tell people you're a writer, one of the first questions you get asked every single time is, "Oh, anything I've read?" And so I usually like to ask, "Do you read?" And they're usually like, "Good point." So the answer is no, not anything you've read.
So you're and correct me if I'm wrong, but you're never not busy. So what is your process? How do you set aside the time to write? How do you make it work?
I always say that you don't find time to write, you make time to write. You just have to set that time. It's not going to just like fall into your lap. So I'm just always tucking away time. And I'm, like I said, ADHD, like just ideas just pop into my head and just are like just flying around all the time. And I learned a very long time ago that trying to just like ignore them and like flip them away and I'll write them down later, that's not an option for me. So I usually just spontaneously like open up Google Drive and just like write something when it jumps into my head, because otherwise it'll be gone 5 minutes later. I'll be like, what was that amazing idea I had? So I'm constantly just like carving out little bits of time here and there. But yeah, I do keep very, very busy. I don't know how not to be busy. I see sometimes my husband's like sitting down,
right?
and
You gotta keep the mind going.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes my husband is just like sitting and I'm just like, how do you, like, I get anxious just like seeing him like not doing something. I'm just like, how do you do that? I wish I could do that, but I can't.
You were mentioning the Timmins Writing Club. There's a lot of equal creative minds like yourself, Jess, in this city, and part of the Northern Ontario Book Fair. A lot of Timmins names on this list. Anthony Ash, Matthew R. Budd, just to name a few. I see who else? Paul Toffanello's a writer too. You see some of the names that you see them on the street. You would say, I wouldn't picture them as writers, but they've got that secret side, just like when they walk into come in to get their brakes fixed, right? And mistake you for the administrator of Forte Automotive.
Yeah.
They say, hey, Jess writes too, right? It's everybody's got that secret side of them.
Yeah, and actually, Paul Toffanello though is probably one of the more famous names on the list. He's got the Pop Truck Chronicles series that's quite popular. So he'll be sharing that, as well as a newer series that I cannot think of the name of off the top of my head. Oh shoot. It's on the little
the Pop Truck Chronicles and the Trash Can Twilight.
Maybe that one. He has a large selection, so I only put like a couple examples in that the web page that you're reading. But there's a graphic on the event page that has the imagery of the other series, the Blackwood or something like that. Anyway, it's there.
It's there. And Sarah Reimer's on the list, the Lynn Dulis's, we had her on the show, Lynn. It's great to see all this creativity. And again, you can find all their pieces, do they sell them locally? Like, does the Timmins Writing Club have a section where we can pick up, all the Timmins work? Or should we? Or can we get them at the museum or put them somewhere?
not specific to the Timmins Writers Group, but a lot of the local authors do have their books on display at the library. Some are at the Timmins Museum. Altered Reality sells a lot of local literature. So there's a few places you can go to buy local books. So yeah.
And is the Writers Group? Oh, sorry, Mark. Is the Writers Group meeting again on a regular basis now post?
Yes, yeah. We were trying to do in-person meetings, but it wasn't quite catching on yet, and people aren't quite ready to get back into that in-person swing of things. So we're meeting virtually on Monday evenings. So if people go on Facebook and just look up Timmins Writers and join the group, then we post updates of like when we're meeting and who's coming and all of that, and the link to the event page is always posted there. So. And if anybody doesn't have Facebook, you could always just email me, and I can send you the link by email instead. So,
are you back to doing workshops?
Pardon?
Are you back to doing workshops?
I am doing a lot of workshops. I haven't done any local ones yet. I've been debating about doing a local one coming up. I haven't decided yet, but I've been doing a lot of workshops for like other companies, like the Society of Children's Writers and Illustrators has hired me to do one. I've done a couple for Children's Book Insider. So I've been doing more like national kind of ones or broader ones, virtually speaking. But yeah, still debating about doing an in-person one. I'm definitely afraid of like organizing something and nobody showing up. So people, please come to the book fair. Okay. This is like my worst fear, organizing something and nobody's there.
Well, it's going to be in downtown. I'm going to say just by the traffic of, the urban park markets and the urban park, the downtown Timmins BIA, the events, week after week, I'm going to say you are going to get some traffic. Yep. And again, rain or shine, hopefully it's going to be sunny because you want to have everybody outside in their tents and having a nice little book fair, through the, downtown 3rd Avenue. But if it does rain, you do have the escape route to the old Tweed and Hickory building.
Yes. Backup plan. Always have a backup plan.
Oh, you have to have a backup to the backup to the backup plan.
Yeah.
In today's day and age. But how many people would you like to see through? Obviously, yes, a writer's nightmare or, any profession, a comedian, you come out there and that's tumbleweed central, one person coming to shake all the authors' hands, but let's get out there and make some noise and
for sure. A dream would be like 200 people passing through over the course of the day. That would be amazing, like top notch.
So 200 plus. You heard it right here, Jess. We're going to get more than 200 plus because JB and I, we're going to be down there during the book fair. We're going to be we'll give you a bit of a we'll give you a bit of a boost down there.
Thank you. Every little bit helps. And actually, speaking of which, so I'm not a big social media person, so I don't like have any Facebook friends. I have a Facebook profile for the sole purpose of like running my business page and like the writers stuff. So I have 0 friends, which means I cannot invite anybody to the event. I don't have access. So all of you watching, if you could go to the Northern Ontario Book Fair event and invite people in your life that like to read or like to write, just click on the invite tab and just like invite them, please, because I can't invite anybody.
We'll get it out there.
Can't invite anybody, but we're going to click the invite and share this. So if everybody watching, one person watching right now times all the other eyes on this show, go and share it to a friend.
Don't just share. Get word out there.
Yes, for sure.
And again, to make this happen year after year, again, you started with what, 2? It was just 2 of you. Now you've got, the masses forming here. Now there's places where, Timmins writers can gather and write with groups. You're evolving one, I'm going to say not one step at a time, one book at a time. And it's showing. It's great. It's great to see.
A little bit smaller this year because we're kind of rebooting it, but we'll get back there. It'll just take time.
And dispelling the myth.
The hardest part this year was that normally we like approach a lot of small businesses for support, and obviously small businesses have suffered immensely over the last 3 years. So asking them for money was, I felt bad even doing it. But then we did have some businesses that provided like in-kind donations and things like that. That helped us a lot. So
You see Melissa there.
Yeah.
Melissa
Send the
from the
word.
library says we've been telling patrons at the library all about it.
Thank you,
Thank
Melissa.
you, Melissa. You guys are
Awesome.
the best.
Awesome.
Yep, she's always getting the word out there. They've got the library book bike now, so
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited about that. That is awesome.
maybe they can put one of your books inside the book
One
bike.
day, yes, I shall have a book.
Like what is your ultimate dream? Obviously, being a writer, you want to. Are you looking for that #1 bestseller, or are you just looking for
You know what?
something that is going to go from Timmins and maybe down to Schumacher, or make its way to Toronto? Where are you looking?
The epitome of being like successful to me is like having one of my books be studied in literature courses. If it's good enough to be like studied and pulled apart and like analyzed, that's success for me. I don't care if it's a bestseller. I want somebody to be like, this needs to be studied.
When you see the references of someone say, or the bibliography of where you found that, the table of contacts, and they say, okay, and you see your name, Jessica Trudel, that's when you know that you've made it.
Yeah.
And right now you're making it. We're not gonna downplay what you're doing here. You're making it, and yes, many moons from now we'll look back and say, remember Jessica Trudel, and that's going to be the wow moment for you.
Yeah. I'll be the famous Timmins writer. But there's already so many great Timmins writers. So
and it's amazing. Like, did you know all these writers? Obviously, you've got the Timmins Writing Club now, but like when you were writing, in search of others, with the same, creativity, did you know that you'd come across this elite group of, other writers in this city?
yes and no. I mean, when we first started out, we had like no distribution list. We had no contacts, right? We were just like slowly building that list. So I knew that the writers were out there. We had been reached out to by people in other pockets of Northern Ontario. They had heard about our like writers group. And they were just like, is there anything like that near me? Like, can I join yours? Like, how can we? So I kind of knew that there were all these like pockets of writers that were isolated all over Northern Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I did not realize the like depth and breadth of the people and the subjects and the genres and the right successes that I would uncover as I went on this journey. Had no idea just how big it really was.
So exciting. And again, it's not easy to, we've all been there, except for your story where you're excited for the essays. When it's essay time, we're ducking under the covers. Even if they give you 3 weeks to write this essay, you leave it to the last minute, right? For you, you're cracking the books, diving right into it. And again, it's,
I had my share of all-nighters writing the essay the night before too. I've done that too.
That provides me some relief.
Right up front, all done, or it's last minute. There's no in between. It's like first day done, last day done. Those are my options.
That's really good to hear. That's kind of join the club now. That's
makes us feel, more a little bit more human, right?
A little bit.
Yeah.
But so awesome, Jess. The Northern Ontario Book Fair, again, it's in our comments section. 10 a.m. to 4, August 20th. Again, fingers crossed, we're going to have some good sunshine for this. 3rd Avenue in downtown. And again, can you go through some of the names, the big names that we're going to see, showcased at the fair?
Yeah, Paul Tufnello will be there. David McKendon. Rod Carley was going to be there. He had to drop out, unfortunately, but he was a big name that was going to be coming out. Mm-hmm. Susan Reimer is going to be there. There's so many names. Go to writingcommunity.ca/book fair with a dash in between book and fair. And there's a list there of everyone that's in attendance. And if there's any authors out there that are listening and you're like, oh crap, I missed the deadline, there's one empty table because we're all going to drop out. So let me know, info@writingcommunity.ca.
There you go. And we've hit that link inside our comment thread. So if anybody wants to be there, they could be there August 20th with you. And again, you don't have to be nervous. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, we're aiming. You said 200 people. I say we're going to get 300 plus easily down there. It's going to be like the farmers market type crowd coming through, looking at all your authors and all the authors.
Bring some vegetables.
Yep. Books and vegetables, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, have some vegetables on the table, and people will flock. And oh wait, what's this? Books too. Yeah, no,
I'll just be like, can you take this like piece of corn over to that table over there? That person needs it. And then they get there and it's just like, have you read my book?
Good
No.
segue into the book fair literature, right?
I know you said you read everything, but do you have a favorite genre? Like if you're nothing's on the go, and it's just a fallback. What are you grabbing off the shelf?
Middle grade. Yeah, for like 8 to 12-year-olds, for whatever reason, I just love middle grade. There's just something about it.
Looking forward to it.
I'm a kid inside. What can I say?
A big kid, and this is where you get to go back and take your your experiences and turn them into some fun for someone else to read. Now, are they based off personal experiences, or do you just kind of let the mind unravel?
Well, like when I was a kid, I was very sheltered, so there was only so many books that I really read or had access to. So I think like now maybe I'm just like making up for lost time, all the books that I didn't, the kinds of books I didn't get to read. And like now there's a lot more acceptance of like tackling tough subjects with middle grade readers, where before it was like, oh, you can't really talk about death, you got to kind of couch it a little bit, right? But they're a lot more open to discussing like really deep subjects, especially issues of like social justice and things like that. Like you didn't talk about that in kidlit when I was young. So it's really nice reading these books where it's like they're taking these, they're finding ways to have these conversations with kids in like thoughtful but not detrimental kind of ways, right? And so I kind of like, I guess I kind of take lessons from them a little bit, and I can kind of talk to my kids about these important subjects because they've already kind of written it for me. I don't have to figure out for myself how to have that conversation because it's already been handled in this book, and I can just be like, hey, let's talk about this book.
And there you go. It's a perfect way to get kids to dive into the book. And again, a great age level, as they say. The brain is always growing, and again, they always encourage you to read. So why not encourage the 8 and 11-year-olds to read more, and maybe get some of your books into local schools here in the city. Are any of your books in any of the classrooms here in the city?
Well, not me. I'm not sure about the other. I mean, I know Paul Teffanello's books have been looked at in schools, but other than that, I'm not sure.
Well, I feel like this is a safe space now to admit that I have Lloyd Alexander's The Book of Three on Audible on my phone as we're sitting here. So I'm not alone.
I'll convert all of you to children's literature. You'll see. Actually, awesome. I'm really looking forward to. I have so there's a Libby app. It's basically like your library on your phone. And I just borrowed the latest Gary Paulson book, which I'm looking forward to reading. Gary Paulson wrote Hatchet, which is one of my favorite books of all time. And so I'm looking forward to reading this latest one.
Excellent stuff. And again,
had a teacher actually read The Book of Three to us in grade 5 on Friday afternoons if we'd behaved ourselves. Yep. He would read at Queen Elizabeth Public School. He would read many books that you're probably now familiar with, and The Book of Three stands out. And I've probably read it as an adult. I've probably read it 3 or 4 more times.
Queen Elizabeth here in Timmins.
Yep.
I went there for like 3 months. And now it's gone, I think. That's
it's a board office now.
School board is now, yeah.
The board office, yeah. Well, reminiscing back in yesteryear there. But just an amazing time and an amazing gal, Jess. Always a pleasure having you on the show. The Northern Ontario Book Fair, which is August 20th, 1 to 4.
10 to 4.
10 to 4.
10 to 4.
Don't show up only at 1, guys. Come at 10.
No, I'm at
Stay
10.
all day.
10 a.m.
Good stuff will be gone if you at 1.
And again, downtown Timmins along 3rd Avenue. So, you're going to see the street's going to be closed off for you. It's not too often you close the streets. It's going to be a party. And again, will there be tables set up where people can sit and read and whatnot?
There's going to be tables for all the authors. There's going to be a table where I'm set up, and I'm going to have like water and a few things for people to be able to grab, so everyone stays hydrated and whatnot, some snacks. And then there's going to be where the mic where everyone can do their readings. There's no chairs, unfortunately. The downtown BA doesn't have chairs. I'm going to bring a few of my like camping chairs from home. But
Bring a lawn chair if you want, or pack your own chair if you want to come and sit.
Yeah, exactly.
And hang out at Jess's vendor with all the other amazing authors. Again, it's great to see. Yeah.
You may hear the next great poet laureate.
Maybe. Yeah.
You
never
know.
Poet laureates in Timmins? Now that you say that, I don't think we've ever crowned a poet laureate in Timmins.
Resolution of council. Resolution.
You got to keep raising the bar, right? Maybe in future book fairs. Who knows? And again, that one open spot. Maybe someone's out there right now going, "I'm going to click on that link. I'm going to submit my stuff," and that could be the wow factor right there for that person.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You need the big break, and again, the Northern Ontario Book Fair, August 20th, 10 to 4, 1 to 4. You can show up at 1, but show up at 10 for a longer stay, right? But Jess, always a pleasure having you.
It's going to be sunny. It's going to be sunny.
It's going to be sunny. Fingers crossed. And again, if it does rain, we're inside at Tweed and Hickory. But always a pleasure, Jess, having you on KINZ and KLOMP Live. And again, if anybody has any time when they're getting their breaks done, they can chat reading with you while they're sitting in the waiting room there waiting for the car to get fixed, right? Fortuatomo.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just sit there and read while everyone else is working.
Or you take other stories, probably overhearing what other people are saying while they're waiting to get their break done, and then you turn it into a story.
Fodder, yeah, for sure. I can't.
I've got some stories.
Yeah,
as they say, water cooler. For all we know, that could be a future bestseller right there.
Yeah.
The talk around the water cooler of Fortuatomo. But Jess, thanks so much for joining us. I know you're a busy gal, and we'll see you on the 20th. Jamie and I will come down.
Yep.
We're gonna be reading some books with you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thanks,
all right,
Jess.
Take care. Bye-bye. An amazing guest.
She's terrific.
Isn't she terrific? Jessica Trudel. And again, August 20th, the Northern Ontario Book Fair, 10 to 4. Get yourself down there. And again, downtown Timmins, BIA is normally what you'll see down on the streets, but now it's the Northern Ontario Book Fair, which is going to be also along 3rd Avenue.
Yep. Get out there and enjoy. There's dispels the rumor that there's nothing to do in Timmins.
Right. Nothing ever to do in Timmins, but there's so much to do. And in fact, we've got some winning to do tonight. Fresh farm eggs, hashtag farm fresh eggs. Type it just like that. Farm fresh eggs. She has to win a dozen eggs. Actually, it's 18 eggs from Hillbilly Customs tonight. And we're also giving away 2 tickets to Imagine Cinema 6 with that hashtag.
Somebody can cook us up an omelet, Mark?
Cinema 6. No omelets, but these are excellent prizes to give away. But you know what? How about we thank our sponsors tonight? We'll thank the amazing sponsors who make this happen.
We should do that.
We'll be right back, and then we'll award those winners tonight. Okay. All right. Here we go. And a big thanks to this guy. We're going to be seeing this guy on Saturday. There's Don Marcoux and the mini putt and batting cages, the hashtag mini putt fun. If you find our sign between hole 7 and 8, make sure you hashtag it and take a selfie with that hashtag. You have a chance to win free golf all summer long. And of course, Saturday, 1 to 4. That's where I was confusing the 1 to 4 from the 10 to 4.
The big tournament.
Ontario Book Fair. The big tournament of fun is Saturday. And someone asked, what do you win? Well, everybody wins. Everybody just goes down there and plays golf, mini golf for $10. You get your golf round, you get a hot dog, and you also get a drink with your $10 admission. But here's a little bit of a secret. Cat's out of the bag. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, I'm going to head down to the mini putt and batting cages, and I'm going to award 25 people free entry into the Tournament of Fun. So watch for that Facebook Live video tomorrow afternoon. So big
Just
thanks
for
to
fun, Klomp. If you're watching, it's just for fun.
just for fun. It's never just for fun when Klomp
I
plays.
know. This is why. Yeah, this is why I say it.
You watch Klomp play mini golf, he'll try to destroy each and every one of us.
Harry's
Love the competitiveness of Klomp, who's driving back. He was in Jamestown on their way back to. I think they just crossed the Canadian border about an hour or so ago.
Yeah.
But how about this guy? Speaking of driving, you want to drive for Lucian Transportation? Well, let's get you on board. You can drive for Lucian. They're doing a summer recruitment drive. New drivers needed for the upcoming school season.
School's coming. School's
That's
coming.
right. And again, a $2,000 sign-on bonus is awesome. And current drivers, if they recruit a new driver, not only does the new driver pick up a $2,000 sign-on bonus, the current driver picks up a $1,000 recruitment bonus. So there you go. Drive it at the front of the bus, Lucian Transportation. And here's a fun day. Dare Timmins teaming up with us. KINZ and KLOMP Live and Climbing Fun. Nadia and her team, we're going to have a family day at Hollinger Park. It's going to be Friday, August the 19th, 1 to 4. They're going to have the rock wall, laser tag, inflatable maze. They've got the rope challenge, bouncies, and a whole lot more. And again, no price tag on that. It's
free event in the
FRE.
park. Yep.
Can't beat that. People
No,
say,
you
what
can't.
happens free in this city? Well, there you
Free.
go. The Dare Timmins crew, forking out some free fun for everybody. And our friends at Plant-Based Marché ran into the dream team, Roxy and Sophie, today, a part of the Urban Park Farmers Market. And they were firing up the pizza oven patio. They had some croissants. It's amazing. If you've never been to Plant-Based, wanting to eat healthier, if you're a keto diet eater, you're looking to cut the sugars out, you'll be amazed when you see what they had. They had chocolate croissants, normal croissants, chocolate chip cookies, you name it. They've got chicken fried rice. And again, it's all healthy
Absolutely.
eating for you.
Try it. You're not vegan. Doesn't matter. Get out there.
Doesn't matter. I'm a meat eater, and I'm a big fan. If you want the go-to tried meal when you go into Plant-Based Marché, which you'll find 175 3rd Ave, ask for the epic chicken fried rice from Sophie and Roxy. And again, they have that in there to go. They're ready to go.
Yep.
Have you tried the rice yet?
I have.
Isn't it good?
It is very good.
So awesome. And again, they even have a microwave in there for the ready to goes. If you really want to eat it, you can heat it up and then eat it while you go. And a big week this week for the Urban Park Music Week. It was fun seeing the TSO there yesterday. The Downtown Timmins has talent. And of course, today, the Urban Park Farmers Market, which happens every single week while the summer's going. And again, every Wednesday and Thursday.
And the Farmers Market goes into the fall, even after Urban Park.
Even after Labor Day.
Urban Market continues into the fall.
It'll continue into downtown. And again, a lot of fun. And, seeing the ambassadors out there, hard work goes into those ambassadors, before doing the setup. And then afterwards, they have to tear all that down and then, get the street back into driving mode. It's amazing the work that goes behind the scenes of the Downtown Timmins BIA. And how about this? This lady, a big fan of bingo. If you're a big fan of the Progressives, if you're a big fan of the Tactics gaming rooms, if you haven't been to Jackpot City Timmins in a while, Jackpot City Gaming, 251 First Avenue in Timmins, go check out their new renos.
Are you giving pointers after your big win, Mark?
The pointers it's all luck, right?
Okay.
And dab properly. If you're dabbing incorrectly, thank goodness we had our friends with us who picked up the big VIP win, and they're helping KLOMP. They're saying, KLOMP, you missed a number. You missed a few numbers, but thankfully, people are there to help you dab in the right direction.
Nice.
And they're fully licensed now.
Yes.
The golden jackpot is on the drink menu.
Enjoy a nice cold, refreshing beverage and dab away. And
again, we're going to have another VIP bingo night in September. So be watching our Facebook page for another grand prize giveaway. And Rockin' Bowl, Midtown Bowl, this is for you. If you've seen their Facebook page, they've been closed for a few days, putting up their epoxy, putting down some new flooring. So this is an even further upgrade to the already epic upgrades. And again, Rockin' Bowl is going to be really rocking on the new floors, $25 per person. And this gets you 2.5 hours. You get the shoe rental for $4.99 and $9.75 per game per person, minimum of 2 games. And again, that happens on Friday and Saturday nights only, 6:30 to 9 or 9:30 to 12 a.m. And a big shout out to Nat
Amazing.
Gamache Berry
Amazing.
for providing an amazing venue to bowl. And of course, Cinema 6, we're giving away 2 movie passes in just a few minutes. Cheap Tuesdays. Of course, they've got all the movies in there you can go see, which a lot of people flock to the theaters on Tuesday for their $10 seats. A lot of people talking about Super Pets. My boys love Super Pets. And of course, Top Gun Maverick, pretty sure, is that one still in the theaters? I think it is.
Still in the theaters. Yep.
And again, it just overtook Titanic as the biggest box office hit ever. I'm thinking Tom Cruise is liking that one. And,
He needs the money.
He's looking forward to the nice royalties on that one. In DAP Cleaning Solutions, Andrewette and her team, residential commercial cleaning excellence guaranteed, cleaning service, carpet cleaner, janitorial service, stripping, waxing floors, windows, anything you need sanitized. You can give Ann a call for a free quote, 705-465-3500. You can even email Ann at ann.dapcleaningsolutions@outlook.com. And she's got the deal on right now. Book now for your carpet cleaning, strip and wax jobs for your commercial unit today. And again, free quotes when you call. And Hillbilly Customs, shout out to Pat and Mona. They are providing the eggs tonight. Someone's going to win 18 fresh farm eggs.
Someone's winning eggs.
And they even gave you a dozen tonight, Jamie Roach.
And I appreciate it very much.
I
will be making an omelet.
You're going to have an egg salad omelet.
I am.
Now. Nothing beats they say farm eggs. And again, when you try the farm eggs, fresh farm eggs, you're not going to go back. No, and again,
no comparison.
It's that good. And again, we're going to give away 18 tonight. They're also getting you ready for the weekend, a $30 weekend bundle, which includes a quarter quart of firewood and a 1 dozen farm fresh eggs. And again, someone's going to win 18 tonight. And last but not least, a big thanks and a shout out to V&M Renovations, Justin and Max, who have a nice mini excavator. In fact, they will bring this to your spot. If you've got something to be pushed around in your yard, they've got this with an excavator operator for hire in the Timmins and surrounding area, 705-372-3832. Renovations, and you can send your renovation quotes for a free quoted estimate to vmrenovations@outlook.com. And we're back.
So I see my friend Chad from Elite Geeks has indicated in the chat that I'm an upgrade, a Jamie 2.0. So
Jamie 2.0.
I'll take it, Chad. Thank you.
Is that what he's saying right there? Awesome.
Jamie
there's Elite Geeks right there. There's Chad. Again, if you're looking for the best place to get a phone fixed, I say this because I've used Chad twice now to fix my cracked iPhones. He fixed the first one in 45 minutes during COVID, and the second one he fixed again in another hour. And again, if you're looking for a local, because before I was introduced to Chad, they always say you got to take your phone, send it to the carrier, which is most places Toronto, and you're out of your phone for a week. Yeah, right.
No, Chad's the guy for sure.
He is definitely the guy. We have Louise saying, have a good rest of your evening, guys. Well, Louise, don't go away yet. We're going to give away some movie passes and farm fresh eggs. So you know what we're going to do here? We're going to add to the stream here. We are going to find the fresh farm eggs, and we're going to see who's going to win. You ready to go, Jamie?
I'm ready.
And then hang tight. We're going to give away the hashtag Cinema 6 tickets. So right now, this is for the 18 farm eggs, and we're going to get in touch with you. And in fact, if you live close by, I just might drive these to you immediately after the show. So here we go. And the winner is... Speaking of Elite Geeks, Elite Geeks picks up fresh farm eggs. There you go, Chad. See, as they say, good karma. Fresh.
You know what Chad's having for breakfast this weekend?
He's having some omelets, farm eggs, and that is Elite Geeks. Congratulations to Chad. So hang on, just mind me. We've got 2 winners to get through tonight. So I'm just going to grab the next one here. And where is it here? There we go. Pardon my sharing. I gotta share the other screen right now. We're gonna go back over here. And we need Cinema 6. We're going to bring this one into the screen. There you go. And we're ready for the Cinema 6. Ready to go.
Here we go.
Boom, boom, boom. And the winner is, who's going to be watching movies at Imagine Cinemas? Chelsea Stewart. There we go.
Congrats, Chelsea.
And again, we'll get in touch with Chelsea. We're going to get in touch with Chad. And Chad will get those eggs tonight. Or if not, we'll deliver them in the morning, Chad. But 18 eggs for him. And Chelsea's off to Imagine Cinema 6. So congratulations to all our winners tonight.
Chelsea can post her review of Super Pets next week in the chat.
Right?
We can all find out how good it was.
Awesome. Well, you survived two shows.
I made it.
You made it through, and you're the first set of eyes. We do have our new studio reveal coming up on September the 6th. You walked in today and noticed something different in our main studio.
Some new carpeting.
It did. Is it out of 10? What are you giving that?
Oh, it's a 10. It's definitely a 10. It looks fantastic.
Isn't it awesome? Again, shout out to End of the Roll in Timmins. You'll see that fine carpet when we unveil everything on.
And when KLOMP spills on it, because of the color, you won't see it as much.
That's why he chose black, right?
You know he's going to spill.
And if you've seen KLOMP eat, you're going to see why we chose black carpet.
Yep.
Right? But then again, it picks up all the dust. I've been out there vacuuming about 6 or 7
double-edged
times.
sword. Not anything is perfect, right? There's always a downside, but
it always is. But
Jamie
wrote.
Messes.
Always a pleasure having you on the show, and it was great having you filling in for Mr. KLOMP.
Honor was mine.
And when he goes away, you can come back in and co-host anytime.
I hope so. I'd love to come back. This was a lot of fun.
And you get to see a little bit more behind the scenes, right? When
Absolutely.
Someone says, what happens at a KINZ and KLOMP live show? And again, when you do see our September 6th show, you're going to be like, wow, can't believe it. And again, the carpeting that we do have set for the new studio, it's going to be almost Jimmy Fallon-ish.
It's all coming together.
Couches, everything else. So the next time you're actually in here co-hosting, you just might be sitting on our big couch here at 67 3rd Avenue, and it will actually involve seats. A select few will be able to sit in the main studio and actually watch a live show being taped, or not taped, but live as we're live.
I look forward to the couch because I didn't want to, as much as I given it to KLOMP the 2 nights I was here, I didn't want to mess with his chair because I know my chair at the office. I wouldn't want somebody messing with it. So I was respectful to the chair, but I got to tell you, I don't know, like the adjustments are not great. So I'm looking forward to the couch because you don't have the KLOMP build there for. No, it's personalized for him, right? We all have our own. So, but I didn't mess with it, Jamie. I didn't mess with it.
You didn't mess with it, but you did move everything just strategically, just enough that it's going to actually bug him when he gets back.
Throw him off. Yeah, I'm hoping. Right. If it doesn't, I'll be disappointed.
Awesome stuff. Well, again, Jamie, thanks so much for hanging out. Jessica Trudel, our guest tonight, the Northern Ontario Book Fair, August 20th, 10 to 4. Again, thanks so much for Jess for joining us. And again, Jamie Roach, co-host this week. We're going to have Mr. KLOMP back. They're in the midst of driving. We're going to see KLOMP again, part of the Mount Joy Farmers Market on Saturday. And of course, the Tournament of Fun. And speaking of the Tournament of Fun, Jamie, I'm going to be giving away 25 entries into tomorrow or into Saturday's tournament. Okay.
Excellent.
All right, buddy. Have a good night. Cheers to you.
Good night, everyone. Thanks, Mark.
Aquí hace tiempo que ya me fui, de que me perdí.